everybody, welcome to another episode of Simply Heal with Dr. Jansen.
Hi Shan, hi everyone, glad to be here again.
Doc, you know the last time we did our COVID-19 special, so many people requested that we do a regular one. So it's been 1 month and we're gonna give updates on COVID-19. So Doc, I mean you've been on the front line of COVID-19. I mean, maybe you can share with us some of the happenings that you are experiencing on COVID-19 from the ground.
From the ground, okay. So here in the Philippines, we're already seeing less and less COVID-19 patients. For me alone, the number of patients that I'm seeing for COVID-19 is already decreasing. So numbers are going down. And I hope it stays that way.
But Doc, a lot of questions, you know, I myself, not only on Simply Heal, but I also attend lots of COVID-19 forums and broadcasts. You know, in every COVID-19 broadcast, always same questions. I'm sure our listeners will be asking us this question, which is, which vaccine to take? What booster shot to take if I already have this vaccine? Doc, I just want to ask from the ground, you know, it seems like even vaccinated people are still becoming infected. So what are your experience and comments about that?
That's actually true. Because getting vaccinated, you know, the vaccine, the main purpose of the vaccine is to lower your risk of getting the moderate, severe COVID. Okay? But of course, you can still get infected. I mean, I've been constantly testing people. So majority of the people that I am seeing now, especially with those who are testing, are already fully vaccinated individuals.
Oh, so
they still get positive. They still do. But most of them are actually mild. Some of them are asymptomatic. So that's the good news.
Wow, I was just joking with Dr. Jansen just now that, you know, for many patients and many people, the fact that you can get infected even though you are vaccinated is almost like, you know, you go out, you're ready to go to the mall and you want to dress up well, you put on, you spend a lot of time going through your wardrobe. Should you wear a Giordano shirt, a Calvin Klein shirt? And it's like many of our listeners, should I get AstraZeneca vaccine? Should I get what's that called, Pfizer? And only to realize when you walk out of your house, you chose the shirt but you forgot to wear pants, right? And then you feel so naked, right? You feel protected on top, but you feel so naked below because it's so cool. I mean, for patients who get vaccinated and yet hear that people after vaccination can still get infected, you know, Doc, that's how we feel. It's like we wore the right shirt but we forgot our pants. So how do we actually complete like the ensemble? What's the right strategy? How do you put on a shirt and pants when it comes to COVID-19?
Okay, so for COVID-19, COVID-19 won't go away. Okay, that is a fact that we have to live with. It would be similar to us living with the common cold. Okay, living with influenza around. Okay, so eventually in the future we would be removing our masks. Eventually we would go to the way how it was pre-pandemic. Okay?
Wow, look forward to that.
One way or another. Okay, by hook or by crook, it will happen. So what do you do in order to equip yourself? So of course you still need to get vaccinated.
So that's the shirt that we wear.
That's the shirt that you wear. Now, regardless of whatever shirt that you're going to wear, regardless of what vaccine you are going to take, as long as you are vaccinated, then that is fine. Okay. With regards to the booster shots, I think some of you have
a lot of questions.
With the booster shots.
We answered during the Q&A.
Yeah, we answered during the Q&A. No, even if you are fully vaccinated, you can still get moderate to severe COVID. Okay.
Wow. Because you were mentioning your colleagues, your other doctors, in fact, Grace had a patient who was vaccinated.
Who fully vaccinated, but the patient is, I think the patient is in severe COVID. So it can still happen to you. But these cases are really small, but you know, we cannot discount the numbers because these numbers are lives.
Wow.
Okay, so it can happen.
So
Okay?
so how do you complete your
Yeah.
outfit?
Here's
right?
the answer.
Here's the
answer. Okay, what pants do you wear? Okay,
What pants do you wear?
Pants, okay, number one. Again, like what I discussed during the previous videos, COVID is an inflammatory disease. Okay, you have to address your comorbidities as well because the comorbidities will increase your risk for the severe COVID. So you have to address comorbidity and inflammation.
Alright.
So how? Number one, eat a plant-based diet. A whole food plant-based diet. If you cannot do a whole food plant-based diet, then please, a plant predominant diet would would already give you benefit. But if it would be better if you can go all the way. Okay, because a whole food plant-based diet actually decreases the odds of getting severe COVID by as much as 73%.
Wow.
So that's really huge. Number two, exercise. You have to exercise. Okay?
Yeah, so don't stay
Exercise-
locked down for too long, right?
Yeah, you have to go out. Okay, studies have shown as well that if your time in nature, so you go out, time in nature can actually increase the number of the natural killer cells in your body. So the natural killer cell is a type of immune cell. Okay, it's part of your immune system that kills off everything, the virus, the bacteria, and whatever, even cancer cells, actually. So
Yeah.
next, you have to take the proper supplement. Okay, so that is where SimplyNature PPARs comes in. SimplyNature PPARs can actually help your immune system become smart. Okay, so that if your body is experiencing a lot of inflammation, it can counteract the inflammation because it has a lot of antioxidants that can combat these. Okay, and at the same time, if your immune system is down, you are stressed, you're a cancer patient, you are on prolonged steroid use, your immune system, is really down. You've been living sedentary for a very long period of time.
Which is
you've been
very
locked-
common now
Yeah.
because we are all locked down.
Yeah. Okay, if you're someone who's not going out of your home, so yeah, SimplyNature PPARs also helps your immune system or kickstart your immune system. Okay, so it's sort of like makes your immune system smart. No, it doesn't just necessarily boost. Okay, so
Wow,
it
that's
knows
a good
when
point.
to stop boosting or to be smart. Okay?
Well, I think that's another key point today that I learned from Dr. Jansen, which is we not only have to have a very active immune system, we have to have a smart immune system.
Yes.
All right. So this is
Yeah.
where vitamin C and all these
Yeah.
important supplements
That's-
they don't really make your immune system smart. They just make your immune system work.
Yeah, work. Yeah, it only makes your immune system work properly.
Properly.
Okay? So aside from that, a whole food plant-based diet, regular exercise, SimplyNature PPARs, these three things can address both concerns with COVID-19. Number one is the comorbidities. Number two is the inflammation. Okay, so that's
That's
what
the
you get.
outfit.
Yeah, that's
right?
the outfit.
That's the
Yeah,
outfit. So so don't just ask. Okay, later during the Q&A, please. I hope all our listeners don't just ask about the shirt that you are going to wear. Right? Don't ask if you want which shirt looks more beautiful.
Yeah.
AstraZeneca brand or Pfizer brand shirt? No.
Yeah, leave that to the experts.
Yeah, right? Ask the next important questions. I mean, as a guy, Doc Johnson, as a guy, would you rather go shirtless or pantless?
I'd rather go shirtless. I mean,
And I think it's the same.
guys have to have their pants.
Guys got to have their pants. So, I think this is such a good topic that we're talking about. To all our listeners, I mean, we promised you an update on COVID-19. So here it is. Stop asking only. It's still important to know what brand of shirt you want to wear. Whether the Pfizer shirt is nice for you or the Sinovac. Maybe you like Chinese style, so Sinovac shirt for you. Okay. But today, really important. Please, during the Q&A, ask about what pants you should wear. Okay,
Yes.
and pants by
You should wear pants.
you should wear pants. And what is pants? Pants is literally what we mean by pants is how do you get your body ready
Yeah.
for COVID-19, because sooner or later we are going to get infected. So
Yep.
stop worrying about that, right? You already wear a nice shirt. make sure you put on pants. All right. So during the Q&A, ask more questions. Doc, just wanted to, before we go into Q&A, maybe a little bit more information about COVID-19. And today let's cover a seldom heard about, but I think still important to know, which is, what is long COVID?
Okay, so long COVID is not, COVID symptoms for a very long period of time. It's not. It's different. Long COVID is actually post-COVID syndrome. Okay, so
post-COVID syndrome.
Yeah. So once you are already recovered with COVID-19, you still feel these symptoms.
Oh, like the loss of taste and smell.
It's part of long COVID, but there are other symptoms.
Okay. So what are the common symptoms of long COVID?
So first, let's define what long COVID is, or what is post-COVID-19 syndrome. So it is a condition where individuals with a history of a probable or confirmed COVID infection, usually 3 months from the onset of COVID-19, with symptoms, and that lasts for at least 2 months. It cannot be explained by any alternative diagnosis. Okay, so that is what long COVID is. Now, the systems in your body that is affected by long COVID is, number 1, your psyche, so your mental health. Number 2 is your pulmonary,
chest.
Respiratory, because COVID is a respiratory disease. Number 3 is cardiac. And number 4 is gastrointestinal.
Oh, we keep hearing about cardiac. We always hear about kids. Even kids who get vaccines, they feel cardiac differences. And definitely for patients who get COVID, those that don't die from pneumonia die from cardiac problems.
Problems. So these are just some of the systems, no? But there are more. But these are the primary ones. Okay, so symptoms of long COVID. So if you feel persistent fatigue or shortness of breath, it seems like you just can't get enough air, coming into your lungs. And if you experience cognitive dysfunction or brain fog,
which means you are blur or traffic, right?
Blur,
traffic.
Or somebody asks you a question and you take 5 seconds before you answer, right? So that's sort of like what it is,
So Doc, actually long COVID is more common than we give credit for, because a lot of people, friends that I know that have recovered from COVID-19, they have like fatigue and shortness of breath. So actually many people have long COVID, but they're not diagnosed as long COVID.
The thing is, long COVID is a very recent concept. Post-COVID syndrome, no? It's a very recent concept. So the guidelines in its management and treatment is not yet set in stone.
And maybe patients don't want to admit that they have long COVID because they are worried that they might get locked down 14 days again.
That's
one possibility.
As well.
Right? You will ignore, no, I'm fine, because I don't want another 14-day home quarantine.
So that's another factor that we can look into,
But what can we do? What can we do? Since we know that it's very likely that long COVID is actually more common than we know, because most of us are not going to report it in case we get locked down at home again. So what can we do? First of all, is this serious? Is this something we should be worried about? Or is this something that we can easily manage and we shouldn't freak out?
Okay, so number 1, it's something that you should not freak out about.
Okay, that's great, right?
You shouldn't worry about this. Because number 1, if you are already recovered with COVID-19, you have surpassed, or you have crossed the hurdle or the challenge of getting hospitalized.
So you won't die.
You won't die from this. You won't get hospitalized.
Very important question.
But of course, it affects our life.
Okay.
Because number 1, it's really uncomfortable, and if our mental health is affected, then decision making is affected. Our mood is affected, of course. Okay, so what is the reason why do we feel these symptoms? Okay, so studies have shown that it's still the inflammation that is to be blamed. Okay, so again, watch the previous videos on the COVID-19. Okay, so once you get infected with COVID-19, what increases your risk for severe COVID is inflammation. Okay, inflammation is the thing that is damaging your organ systems. Okay, so the persistence of the inflammation or if your body, it's just that your body is not, does not handle inflammation well. So the amount of inflammation, the inflammatory levels in your body is still high, even after you recover from COVID-19. Then, yeah, that's the time you feel these symptoms, these post-COVID syndrome. Okay, so inflammation. And then another one is an autoimmune reaction. So it's sort of like similar to lupus and the rheumatoid arthritis.
That's why you get all this like extra fatigue, loss of smell.
Yeah.
The system's going haywire.
Yeah, so that is another theory that the scientists have proposed. But the one that is generally accepted is the persistent inflammation in the body. So how do you address the inflammation? Okay, number one is a multidisciplinary approach. Of course, you might not just feel, mental health, distress, cognitive dysfunction, depression, anxiety, fatigue, brain fog, difficulty sleeping, So you can also feel dyspnea, palpitations, you can feel hypertension, or probably diarrhea, hyperacidity. So if you feel these symptoms, consult with the proper specialists. Okay, so these specialists that you have to look into are, number one, rehab medicine, cardiologist, pulmonologist, gastroenterologist, neurologist or psychiatrist, and don't forget your lifestyle medicine specialist. Okay, okay. So next thing, treatment protocol that you can immediately do is to follow a plant-based diet. Okay, so a plant-based diet is innately what? Anti-inflammatory. It has a lot of antioxidants, so it makes sense to address inflammation using a plant-based diet because
that's the solution.
That's the immediate thing that you can do. I mean, you can do this immediately on your next meal, right? And yeah, 73%. There's a 73% reduction in the odds of getting moderate to severe COVID with a plant-based diet. So, although it is not yet proven that it can alleviate the symptoms of long COVID, no, but a plant-based diet is known to be beneficial for fatigue, sleep disorders, headaches, and anxiety, depression.
Which is everything what a long COVID symptoms
is. Yeah, what long COVID is. No, so it would be in your best interest to follow this type of diet. Okay? If you want to know more about a plant-based diet or what a plant-based diet is, watch the previous videos in our YouTube channel.
Right, and all go for a consult with Dr. Jansen.
Okay, so lastly, you have to have the right supplement.
Yes.
Okay? You have to have SimplyNature PPARs because it is very difficult to follow a plant-based diet. Okay, let's face reality.
That's true. I'm so difficult. I take my hat off to Dr. Jansen because he can actually follow a vegan diet. It's so difficult for me.
It's difficult. I mean, this is something, long COVID is something that has to be addressed immediately, or COVID has to be addressed immediately. You have to have immediate solutions.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very difficult to change a behavior, with the burden of COVID-19 present already.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
it's true, Doc. If you're sick, the thing that you crave is not water, it's a Coca-Cola to make yourself feel good.
I mean, how, right? You wouldn't want to add to the burden.
Yes,
another burden.
yes, so, truly understand.
Take the SimplyNature PPARs. Okay, so SimplyNature PPARs, how does it work for long COVID? Number one, it addresses the inflammation. Number two, if you have comorbidities, it also addresses your comorbidities, hypertension, diabetes, if you have cancer, if you are overweight or obese, these things can be addressed by SimplyNature PPARs. If you don't want to know how, go for a consult because these protocols have to be tailor-fit to your case, okay, and to your goals as well. Okay, so there you go.
There you go. So today, Doc, if I can only remember one thing, is this: wear your pants.
Yeah.
Okay,
Don't forget your pants.
Don't forget your pants. I think this is a great take home today. You know why? Because Doc, the message from the ground, the things that we see now with actual patients. I mean, we've lived with COVID-19 for almost 2 years. Yeah, and in Singapore and Israel, we actually have 90%, 85% vaccination. Those of you who feel for my country, Singapore has 85. Philippines is how many percent?
Probably around 40. I mean,
Philippines is 40%, right?
I mean,
Singapore is 85% vaccination, and yet we are considered by the US as high risk now because we have an explosion of infection rates in Singapore.
Yeah.
So I think our analogy today is really true. We've been so focused on choosing the right shirt, right, which is our vaccination, the brand, that many of us are now realizing, oh my God, we didn't wear pants, so we still feel unprotected. You know, as a guy, you can go shirtless and not feel unprotected, but if you walk out without your pants, we feel very unprotected. You know, so what is the pants? Pants is really what's going to solve your inflammation. You know, you heard again and again, inflammation and comorbidities. You've got to have solutions for those two. Then you'll be wearing your full COVID-19 outfit, right? The vaccination is your shirt, your chosen solutions for inflammation and your comorbidities is like putting on your pants. So that even if you go shirtless, because you have your pants on, things will not be too bad for you.
Yeah,
That's the key.
Correct.
That's the key.
Yes.
Remember your pants. I think we all remember our shirts. We all are vaccinated. Now it's important for us to focus on making sure we are wearing our pants. So we move to the Q&A. I hope that we have more questions about inflammation, how to manage inflammation successfully, how to get rid of your comorbidities, because for most of us out there, we are probably already vaccinated. But let's not forget, ask about pants.